somewhere on Earth,
Yeah.
a fox is fucking
I mean,
all
they're
the time.
mostly in Ealing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, leafy Ealing.
Well,
They
it's
hide
the
under the
sort
leaves.
of fox mecca.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Cameron's Ealing.
Cameron, Cameron's next campaign will be like, stop the fox mullers, and everyone will be like, what?
He'll be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you heard me.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if the camera's gonna suddenly kick in. It did. Shall we greet them?
Hello.
Hello, people of the netizens. Oh my god, I said that.
Mm.
This is People's Exhibit, the only show that still non-ironically uses netizens, and there's another word. Netiquette.
Netiquette.
Netiquette, yeah. Netizens and netiquette. And,
You could just go with Eeple.
And we're about to kill ourselves because of this. So
I like Eeple. You don't like Eeple? Eeple. It's like people. I just made it up.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I mean, we better watch out. Like I say, you know, the things we say on this show, it could be
Used in a court of law.
Yeah, or or just like, you know, by some get into bad hands. You know, bad people have bad hands. Apparently, like wrist pains and shit.
Yeah.
So
They need to get that looked at, because that can become quite severe if it's not.
because they live in like bad places, they don't really have like GPs around, so they're like kind of go around with
Yeah.
rheumatism or
It's
whatever.
the story of Batman. If he didn't have any money, he'd probably end up homeless.
We said there was someone saying that there's how many million, or whatever, sorry, not how many million, but there's like several hundred or something billionaires in the world, and not a single one decided to become Batman, and like they're all losers.
That's fantastic.
I think it's like 100 something or 200 something. I forgot how many. Probably more than 200. I would imagine.
Yeah, I would have thought.
A couple of billionaires. Maybe it was like 500. Money, which brings us to Kickstarter.
Of course.
So some of you may remember a game called Fly Ranch. I remember this game, Fly Ranch. Now, I didn't know about it at the time. I found out about this when Nidhogg came out. By is it Messhoff?
Messhoff?
Yeah. So and the reason and the way I found out about the existence of Fly Ranch was because I looked at a negative review of Nidhogg, which was saying nothing about Nidhogg at all. It was on Steam, but it was about the guy behind Messhoff. I forgot his name. That he is a total dick because he had this Kickstarter campaign. At that time, that was 4 years ago. And he promised to deliver it like in half a year or something. Nothing happened. He doesn't talk about it anymore. So now he is delivering his game, Fly Ranch, which essentially had a successful Kickstarter before Kickstarter was a thing, or people knew what the fuck Kickstarter was.
Huh.
He made $5,000. Had only 29 backers.
Oh, wow.
Which is interesting. And then he never really did what he promised. So he kind of just... So for some time he was like, yeah. And then he was like, fucking no, Fly Ranch, what's that? And now it's back. It's apparently happening, and it's coming out in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So those 29 people, I would say rejoice?
Maybe. I think this guy is probably permanently upset. Possibly all of them would be, and they'd be justified. But it's weird. It's unexpected for him to come back to this project. Usually when some project goes dark like that, that's it. It's over. Your money's gone.
Yeah.
They've closed shop, gone to the Bahamas. The phone, no one picks it up. It's now a laundrette.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, I mean, he never went... Like, he never disappeared. He was always making games. He was making games before, and he was making games after. It's just that it wasn't Fly Ranch.
Yeah.
And now it is for Fly Ranch again. And he also existed as a free game before the Kickstarter. There was a whole premise. He made it like a free game. He took it to like conventions and shit, and then people were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that. It's 2007, and we have a free game. Haha." And then he was like, "Oh, I want to expand that," and sort of he did kind of now.
Yeah.
So that happened. There's another Kickstarter news as well, which is the Mega Man thing that failed.
Oh yeah, redash, that done failed. Now it didn't, not completely though, just in the sense of the Kickstarter campaign itself for that one thing did not reach its goal. But I believe the game has been picked up by publishers anyway, and they're just going to make it anyway. And also,
Prologue. So it's not the entire game. They're making an 8-hour short thing, and then they're also making an anime series, I think.
Yeah, there was a separate Kickstarter for an anime series,
Yeah.
which did succeed. It was, I think, 150K, and they did make
Yeah.
that. Now, I thought that they were making the prologue, but also that this game was going to be made anyway. This one that just failed, just not with Kickstarter money.
Not according
But
to the
I could be
article
wrong.
linked.
Okay, fair enough. So,
They did make quite a lot of money. I mean, more than $500,000. It's not. It's not like nothing. But
well, they got that far, but
yeah.
they
I
didn't
mean,
receive
yeah.
it. Yeah. The sort of takeaway from that is obviously horribly timed Kickstarter. It was kind of like the night and day of Kickstarters. So you go, here's a property no one's really done anything good with, Mega Man for years and years, that people still remember, and you had this like hidden enormous bag of dollars sort of just waiting to appear into reality. And then you got the other thing where you have this setup for failure, which is this will work again. I'll just do this again. I'll use all the goodwill. It doesn't work. Yeah. You need to deliver something before you ask for something else.
So yeah, it was ambitious project, as they like to say now, and it didn't quite work out. Wasn't there another one as well? Like, but it was like even less budget, more fun thing they were gonna make with that. Oh wait, no, yeah, it's called the Mighty Number 10 or something.
No, Mighty Number 9 is the. Do you mean Mighty Number 9?
Number 9, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. What I was talking about was the Kickstarter for before redash, KG and Fune, I believe.
But different people, right?
No, same person.
Oh, they were same as well.
Yeah. That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the story. Is the Mighty Number 9 guy is this guy,
right?
And yes,
but Mighty Number 9 is out, isn't it?
Nope.
Really?
It's not out.
Okay.
Nope.
I just really don't care about Mega Man, so I kind of glance over the news about Mega Man, so hence I thought it was out.
It made a huge amount of money, extremely successful. This is why I'm talking about the cashing in on, and this is the thing that now at the same time it's probably far enough in development that a lot of people working on it are done with their part of it, especially like design wise. You're kind of done at this point because I think it's coming somewhat soon. And you want to move on to something else. But the thing is, so you have this problem where, realistically, for the people working on it, they're like, right, well, I'm going to start working on my next project, and there's going to be this dead time between. But even though that is kind of reality, they should be thinking in terms of the people who put the money in, not going to give you that much for another Kickstarter before this is finished. But anyway.
Oh my god, they actually had a ton of money for the previous one. They made almost $4 million in the first Kickstarter. Yeah.
It's one of the biggest games Kickstarters ever.
67,000 people backed it. Damn, okay, I didn't know it was actually that big. Yeah, so it has a sort of a release date. It's coming out, like, again, first quarter next year. Sort of.
Let's do it. Bloodbath.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I didn't. For some reason, because I assumed it was out because obviously I would not hear about it because I don't really care about it, something like that. So I assumed it was like out. But cool, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a bit strange move then. I fully agree.
But anyway,
but that's us done with the Kickstarter news, unfortunately, and we have to move on to more hot stuff that is actually on fire, like your nvidia tablet and the Shield thing. So you may remember that there was a thing called nvidia Shield. And
you may not remember.
Or you may not remember, which is, but the world would be so much poorer for forgetting about the amazing screen attached to the controller.
Is that? Oh, that's what.
No, there's two things. This is the shit gets confusing because marketing/branding. So, the thing, which it looked like an Xbox controller with a freaking screen on the thing, and it was supposed to stream
like a Dreamcast controller.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, bigger screen though. It was supposed to stream your games, I think. It was a streaming device, I think, because again, it's like Mega Man for me.
I was going to say this is the one I don't know about because it's your Mega Man for me.
We can have that phrase now. It's Mega Man for me. So, and you were supposed to stream it to your screen in front of in your hand, something, and it used to be called nvidia Shield. But then they made a tablet which kind of does the same. And it's just a tablet, but it's for gaming with like very powerful processor, and I think we're again streaming games to it, and you control your controllers. You connect your controllers wirelessly to it or something like that.
I'm trying to imagine how you use this.
Where would you put it? Is my yeah? I was like, where does it?
Is this on your lap in the train while you're holding an Xbox?
But you can
controller?
play. 4 people can connect to it and play.
Oh, so you can sit one of those bits in the train where 4 people can sit around and
Maybe,
have it
yeah.
on the lap of one person, and then
Like,
the other.
and everyone who goes.
And you'll
by
get your
goes-
heads together like you're in a huddle.
And if one of you has lice, then it obviously spreads a lot.
And when the train like slows down, you're bumping your heads, and it actually hurts quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. Plus, it's now on fire.
That too. So it's burning the skin off your knees, going down to the cartilage and bone, and the smell is awful with the burning hair from everyone looking over it, and it catches in their faces. And a burning face is actually quite a serious condition.
But you're a gamer, so they can't mess with you, so you don't notice. So they recalled like I don't know how many they sold, but whatever they sold, they recalled.
It recalled dozens.
They recalled more than 12 units, and half of them have like the fiery battery, and half of them don't. So it's like just don't turn it on or something.
It sounds like one of those contrived scenarios in movies
Yeah.
where like Batman was given 2 shields and he gave one to Gordon and he gave one to his girlfriend, and Joker's like, one of them has the fucked up battery. And he flies out the window, he's like, gotta find Rachel, and she's just there using the shield, and then it just burns Two-Face.
Oh man, that should be their like advertising campaign. That would be hilarious.
Oh man! And then they could do a deal, and they'd be like, "What price is the shield?" And he goes, "Half."
Oh,
Anyway.
beautiful. Now we're turning to our research department. So the game research news we deliver weekly to you. This one is about people with schizophrenia. So some ladies and gentlemen in Cambridge developed a game which seems like a fairly simple game, but it essentially trains your cognition and memory, which is something that a lot of people with schizophrenia have problems with. And as far as I know, a lot of the stuff when you are schizophrenic is medication-based, a lot of your treatment. But you can't really do much with medication in terms of your cognition yet, anyway, in modern society. So they came up with this thing, and they did. I think that the way they conduct the research there's a name for it. The game has a name, but I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like a wizard something, or something.
Yeah, it's just called Wizard.
Oh, wizard. Okay, cool. So the way they did the research was they gave them the thing to play, and then after like prolonged play, they would test them on cognition memory, which would improve, blah blah. So, but like preliminary findings essentially show that video games help, or specific video games rather help people with schizophrenia. The problem with those kind of studies, which wasn't really mentioned in the article, but as far as I know, is the more you do the tests, the better you get at it anyway, sort of thing. So hopefully they had a control for that as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to follow up on that one. That's not something I've looked too far into. This is very much the kind of pop science level of reporting. But, just add it to the list of things that games could potentially help your brain with.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Exactly. So now we turn to robotics after research, because research leads to robots. Robots lead to extermination. But this one's a nice kind of robot, and it instead of helping you, it wants you to help him. Well, before he died.
Wanted.
Before we killed it. But fortunately not with fire. So this is Hitchbot.
Yeah.
And it was a project meant to sort of...
Sorry, I just saw its last tweet. I'm so sad.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? The purpose of this thing was they would set it on the road somewhere, they did it in Canada, they did it in Netherlands, they did it in Germany, I think, and then unfortunately they did it in America.
And it died in Philly.
You know what? I'm surprised about that. He didn't get shot. They just ripped his arms and head off.
Yeah, just holes.
What the hell, America? Where's your guns? So they had no problems, 0 problems in Canada, 0 problems in Netherlands, 0 problems in Germany. In Germany, they gave it beer.
Of course, I can imagine its little head thing just sloshing with beer.
So the purpose is that you pick it up and it asks you to go somewhere, I think a specific place or something, and then you plant him there, and then someone else picks him up and he asks you to take him somewhere else.
How are the places determined?
I think it has a GPS on it, and then it tells you where to go or something like that.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm not sure if a service team is on the standby when the people let him go. They'll just kind of sneak in and do something with him. I'm not sure, but
Hmm.
because they found him when he kind of went off the grid sort of pretty quickly, I would assume
Probably had a GPS still
yeah, he had a
functioning,
tracker,
being
yeah,
tracked,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I would put several trackers on it if I'm honest, because like probably one
Yeah.
of them could be ripped out, like his arms.
Yeah, it'd have an obvious one in the front,
Yeah.
and then like a bunch of hidden
Please
ones.
don't remove I am GPS tracker, and then
Yeah, the only GPS track already looted.
yeah. No tools are kept in this van overnight. So yeah, he made it into Philly. From I think they started in Boston, and they eventually he died in Philly, and now he's being, I guess, repaired or remade. Really,
You can't just like everyone's like mourning his death. You can't repair him. You have to throw him away now and make a new one.
because he's missing a head. So
Yeah.
like yeah, they found the arms nearby, like you can see, but I think the head's like gone. So Hitchbot, everybody.
I should write a story about Hitchbot. If I have to do another romance fucking short story, I'm gonna write about Hitchbot.
And you know, let's just take a look before I switch to the next image. Just take a look at that like arms missing, kind of ripped out thing. Because the next story is about Konami, and that's what they do with their employees. Apparently, here is Kojima preparing his arms to be ripped out of his body by his bosses in this picture. So there was an article published in Japan by I think a financial newspaper called Nikkei.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually the Westerners got around to translating it. It's like this is how fucked up it is, and it describes the corporate culture of Konami, especially since 2010, where they started making more money from mobile games, and this sort of ties in well into the whole idea how mobile games will be the death of humanity as opposed to like some evil AI or something like that. Maybe evil AI is sort of dormant within mobile games, and your smartphones will catch on fire as your arms are ripped out, and words Konami will flash on your screens. So some of the horror stories that they told are, for example, that your lunchtime is monitored through key cards, and some of the punishments, for example, for having the long lunch or something like that, and other misdemeanors, is doing cleaning up of rubbish, especially in their fitness club or something that they have in their building.
Well, you know, they've got fitness clubs though. It's not all bad.
Well, it doesn't say you can go there.
You can go there if you take a long lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the people apparently who used to work on games were demoted to being security guards, which would probably make pretty bad security guards.
Yeah, they'd be fucking shit security guards.
They have spy cameras around as well, according to the same report. And what was another thing? Oh, some of them got demoted to working on an assembly line in their factory that makes, I think, some kind of slot machine or something.
Or like the pachinko.
Yeah, the arm of their corporation. Because like every corporation in Japan seems to have a pachinko arm as well. Arm that will be ripped out eventually by mobile games. Just like you saw in the other picture. Let me show you the picture if you forgot. This is what it will look like when the mobile games take over. You will be Hitchbot.
Oh.
So yeah, part of it also explains how Kojima got kicked out, or one of the versions why they kind of broke up. And it was that his budget kept getting bloated, and they were pretty unhappy about that. And
Yeah, for MGS5.
Yeah, for MGS5 and MGS5, and now the Evo Soccer thing. What is it called? The Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
But
he
didn't. No. But those are the two sort of AAA non-mobile games left. I think that they are still working on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Other than that is pachinko and like some phone stuff.
So it's like this is one theory I'd heard, is that they really are working on their exit. Like they wanted to be out and done with this, and then that's kind of how you treat people if you want to get rid of them but not have to pay them to leave.
Yeah.
It's you just treat them like total shit
until they
and
go.
You don't break the law, but you treat them like shit until they go. And this is probably like not helped at all. That they probably wanted to. Well, this is just a guess again. That they just wanted to finish MGS5, get it fucking out the door. You know, PT's gone. Fuck it, whatever. Let's get rid of his mini studio that he put together. Let's just get rid of all of this shit. mobile has come and destroyed everything, and just embrace it and make pachinko machines.
Pretty much, yeah. It does seem that way anyway. What was it, another game that was sort of famous they were doing, like Love something, I forgot. But anyway, that's also kind of sort of on the, like, they're not making another one or something like that, but I forgot what it is.
Right.
But am I understanding this correctly that Kojima is still kind of finishing up the game, or is the game technically done now and he's like,
the game
gone?
is kind of done. I think it comes out in like 1 month, almost exactly.
September or November or October or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I believe it's basically done, and I believe he's under some kind of gag order. It seems that way. I'm really looking forward to like
they're running out,
that running out, and him being like, well, and then just spilling the biggest bucket of beans all over my dick and balls. I think that would be great.
Thanks, Kojima. So, and they are going to continue, like I said, with the Metal Gear series, because they own, I think, the Metal Gear series, not Kojima. So Kojima, I think, now that he's not there anymore, he can't really. This is his last Metal Gear game. And now I'm only guessing here, but I guess Metal Gear on your phone is coming.
It's weird because I remember
Metal Gear on the phone.
He several times said, all right, I'm done with Metal Gear. Although now it seems to be the way around where he's like, well, I said I was done with Metal Gear, but I still quite like it. And they're like, no, we're done with Metal Gear. Except for the money aspect of it. But like, I don't think it will be creative in that weird way that, he is anymore. It's going to be kind of sad. And eventually, in maybe a few years, we'll see a Kickstarter called... I don't know, like
Mighty
Rock
Number
Hard
Gear?
Lizard, Mighty Gear, super brutal gear, and it will have nothing to do with snakes.
And letters.
Just this ladder boss. Do you know why he became the ladder boss? What? He used to be a painter and decorator, and then he got shot with rays from the sun. What?
He was a plasterer. So, one way to deal with mobile games and get rid of this menace is white lasers.
What a segue.
This is an artist's sort of recreation of what a white laser Gatling gun would look like. It's not actually someone's toy.
That's fantastic.
So you point this at mobile games.
And then they evaporate, hopefully.
They burn pretty hard. So now, apparently, we the humans... I promise we're humans, can make lasers that are white, which was impossible before, and this is now possible through some super micro semiconductors that we can micro out of our micro printers or something.
Yeah, with very weird kind of combination of alloy thing, basically. It's obviously significant because until you can produce white light, you can't really control colors to make a monitor. Essentially, the idea is to make screens with this technology.
It would be amazing screens as far as...
Oh, yeah, it'd be fucking super. It'd be better than LEDs for efficiency and brightness. I don't know if it would be super directional. That's the thing. The only thing is, like, what's the viewing angle? Like 1 degree.
But because they have, like, tiny things producing the laser light, so you could just pack a whole bunch of them, and each of them will change what kind of light they produce. You know what I mean? So... instead of having pixels and backlight, the thing would be like light itself, and it would be colored.
Be pretty good.
As opposed to like what we have now, which is colored liquid, whatever, crystal cells. And
what about LED displays?
It's the same thing. LED and LCD are the same thing, except that LED is lighted with LED instead of like halogen tubes.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
I see. So a big white LED behind with... is that right? For the backlight?
Well, no, they have them on the sides, I believe. So
okay, right.
There's like a bunch of LEDs around your screen lighting the stuff that is making color. So the LEDs are white themselves, but the thing it's like a if you think of the church whatever windows, the tinted glass. Yeah. It's the same principle essentially. While this, I believe, would be like the color is made by laser themselves as opposed to having a separate thing color and separate thing light, which would make potentially for a lot like really cool resolution stuff. Another thing they're actually trying to also, or in theory, want to do with this super amazing laser technology. I'm gonna move this gun away.
It's kind of threatening.
is Li-Fi, which is Wi-Fi with light and should be extremely fast.
That would
Like
be
optic
super
Wi-Fi,
great.
sort of.
Yeah, although that's obviously going to be line of sight based, won't it?
Yeah, unless they have some very creative way of doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you'd have just some fairly high up towers point at each other, and you could do like a huge amount of transfer. I believe, isn't there? I think there's a section of like a stock exchange that uses this already.
Maybe.
Kind of.
I think it like a prototype on a prototype level it does exist. Another way of doing this is also so it's not really something you would like be annoying because they have lights on or whatever. They could probably do an invisible range of light with the laser as well. So
That's true.
Imperceptible to human eye. So it's
Yeah.
like whatever laser, haha, and it's there, but you don't even know about it. It'd be
Yeah,
like,
that's
essentially
how I
like
imagined
radio
it would have been done.
yeah. Unless like you're a gamer and you want your Wi-Fi to be like shining red lasers out of it.
Oh.
You want something? Talk about something positive. Street Fighter. There we go.
Yay!
Vega.
Vega. So they've announced Vega, which is kind of unexpected. Just sort of a
Why?
character everyone. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not super anticipated. Just kind of one of those characters that's just there in the roster. Was a boss character way back in the day, and you're just like, oh, okay. I guess Vega got included. Anyway, so the new thing with Vega is that it's not. I believe Vega was charged. I never played Vega myself.
I think so.
But now it seems that Vega is a motions character, and more specifically, more recently, I heard that would be a 360 type motion character, and if I'm not mistaken, exclusively 360 type motions, which sounds very strange to me. But
explain those 360 motions to our
so 360 motion is you literally take the stick and then you go to the side and then all the way around. So a 360-degree rotation of the stick, so all the way from forward to up to back to down. I think that the direction you move it in matters, so you could go clockwise or anti-clockwise, and only once you've done the full thing can you then do a move. A bit like with the fireball as a quarter circle, and some characters have half circles. Mostly grapplers are the ones who end up with 360s, and some even have 720s. So it'd be very interesting to know exactly how this does break down, and I guess we'll be hearing a bit more from that as it shows up, as Vega shows up at Capcom events, where they'll have exclusive Street Fighter 5 cabinets and stuff, and possibly in one of the upcoming sort of beta weekends, assuming it actually works this time.
Is it already confirmed when the PC beta is happening or not yet?
I think it was meant to be the second. I don't know when, but it was definitely meant to be the second one. But I think the first one, because it was a wash, it's probably going to be still in 2 betas time. Yeah.
Cool. Another thing that got in terms of fighting games that got announced was that the Battletoad dude is going to be in the
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. It's also coming to PC in March.
Yeah, this is it. This is the bloodbath that is Q1 2016.
Yeah, that one.
This is brutal. So this character is already available. I believe his name is Rash.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about how he's played. But also it debuted with this guy is the new soundtrack guys. So Mick Gordon had been doing the soundtrack for Killer Instinct Season 1 and 2, and it's a fucking good soundtrack. But he's actually moving on to Pastures New, and it's a pair of other dudes showing up to do the last season. I believe Season 3 is going to be the last one of Killer Instinct. And their first track actually was this Rash soundtrack. Yeah, this guy's from Battletoads. I think this all ties into that huge, rare resurgence thing that's happening. I guess it's
30 games for $30, all back to back. Something released Microsoft conference. This is the keywords. Are
you a word cloud? Can you say them at different volumes?
Yeah, because the one that is the biggest is Xbox, and then the other ones are a bit smaller. But words, excellent segue. Words, Gibson, words, game. Ed, tell us.
Oh, I haven't got much to say on this one.
No one does really.
Yeah, no one does. This is pretty much just the headline, and I will now deliver it. But essentially, William Gibson, sci-fi author, most famously known for Neuromancer, but also done other stuff. is apparently working on kind of the setting for a sci-fi-ish looking game, which is on Steam Greenlight. Now, the word Steam Greenlight mean literally nothing.
Poison.
You could put anything on Greenlight though. You can put poison. You could put something really nice, but like, why would you?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's called Meg 9 Lost Echoes, which is one of the best, like random names ever. And yeah, so it's some weird stuff, some weird high concept sci-fi stuff, and knowing William Gibson, at least that aspect of the game will be interesting. I have no idea about the gameplay, what you're meant to be doing, or anything. There is some kind of trailer thing, but I haven't even watched that. Not going to lie, been somewhat busy. But
I wonder how did they even get hold of him or whatever? I don't know. It's
I don't know.
A pretty big celebrity to have like working on your game.
I follow him on the tweeters, and it seems he's very easily interested in something that sounds cool and futuristic. Kind of.
Man of the people, huh?
He just like will be very on it when it comes to sci-fi concepts in real world that that could he seems to post a lot about like technology stuff and things like that, and so I can kind of see the way you get from A to B with him being on a project like this. I don't think anyone twisted his arm at all.
One can assume that he also maybe likes video games. I remember there was recently the thing where he went to someone did a presentation for him, like they gave him the Oculus Rift or whatever, and he was like, "Whoa, man, whoa!" It's in the lobby of some hotel, I think. I'm not sure if they twisted his arm. Probably no arms were twisted.
Well, one of the tweets he made was he's extremely interested in things he knows nothing about, including video games.
Oh, excellent! So this is going to be great.
Possibly.
I wonder what's his opinion on segue warning on ancient warfare on massive scale. So this is We Are Legion, a game that recently kind of surfaced. Doesn't exist yet in terms of like you can't buy it, but it will be on Steam. So they promise soon. So they say, and it is one of those no unit cap kind of games.
Yeah, like the original Red Alert. If you modded it.
Aren't there others that are?
Oh yeah.
Isn't like the Total Annihilation or whatever also unit cap?
No, that has a unit cap.
Oh, it does.
You can patch it to have a high unit cap, and you could probably patch it to have an even higher unit cap, but it did have one.
Yeah. I wonder if this one, because the computers can't really deal with infinite numbers. It will have a cap at some point.
Yeah, its cap will be the hardware that's played on. I think that's what it is. I think maybe it just doesn't go, I don't trust you to not grind your machine to a halt. It probably goes, I want you to grind your machine to a halt. Which is cool. It looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit sort of stressful kind of RTS type thing where it seems like a lot of clicking is involved,
Very possibly. It reminds me a little bit of Brandon Chung's Atom Zombie Smasher.
Yeah.
Very, very similar, and it was a game like that. It wasn't actually Atom Zombie Smasher, but a game that was very similar that actually got me into crowd work. So it's kind of interesting. Just
what
like
was the
seeing.
Game?
It was just somebody did some zombie simulator where it was just little points behaving, and you had the emergent nature of the scenario, just them going, well, I want to protect myself, but there's a zombie there, and the zombie's being faster, and I'm going, well, I want to eat that guy, and then you just see how it all plays out in this like cityscape, and that eventually.
Cool.
I don't know if he ever mentioned it as an influence, but then Atom Zombie Smasher was just like basically that polished.
I think he will sue you if you imply that he was influenced by it.
Yeah, swear he never watched Twin Peaks. Yeah.
Cool.
It looks cool. I would keep an eye on it. It could be horrible. It could be super fun. Who knows?
Yeah, like the video informs you, it has 4-player multiplayer. So hopefully they're using the same netcode that Rising Thunder is using. But hey, whatever. Another thing got announced recently, and this is again something probably Mr. Ed Hicks is excited about. Is it's not got announced. They got a trailer. It got announced like 4 years ago. Mountain Blade 2 is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Apparently, they announced the existence and making of Mountain Blade in 2011.
Yeah.
And at that point they already had something done, so it could be 4 or 5 years in development. And there's a new trailer out that you are seeing with your eyeballs, and Ed Hicks is very excited. Why is that, Ed?
Basically, I played a lot of Mountain Blade 1. That's kind of it. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those games that you don't know why you're playing for so long, and it's not like one of those freemium fuckers that are like, I want you to waste time, and puts in mechanics that actively waste your time where you could be doing something where it could be more streamlined. It's just kind of fun. It's sort of almost procedural overall. There's no like plot. It's here's the
Very
world.
open world, right?
Yeah. Here's the world. Here's the mechanics. Go away, and there's several things you can try and do. And it's not even like strictly saying what those things are, except for maybe in some achievements, which you can obviously ignore. And so yeah, that was something I really liked. It's quite old now. Looks very primitive, but these screenshots look pretty nice. And hopefully, there's going to be a lot more stuff that you can do in the game.
You can siege things and play
Siege
board
that
games.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I always wanted to play a board game in an open world game.
Yeah. A lot of people are salty about board game in the comment. They're like, you've been making these for 4 years and what you give us is board games, fuck you. But, whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I got a lot going on in my life. I can wait for a good game. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you, people.
One franchise that doesn't make you wait for a long time is Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3. I actually considered putting a video or trailer of it, but I was like, and so I got the most obscure screenshot, the official screenshot I could find, and put that up. So there you go, haha.
Excellent.
Jokes on you, motherfucker, if you like Dark Souls. Which I personally don't, but a lot of people are obviously super excited about it. Because, to I guess put it very succinctly, Dark Souls. That's really the explanation.
Well, I mean, it's a kind of play style that not many things have. More things have now because they're Dark Souls likes. Like in that way, it's very influential certainly, and the whole point is you'll die a lot. It's super hard. It sort of goes, I am the reincarnation of old games which had lives. I am the reincarnation of games which were hard. Fuck you. Except it's modern and stuff. And it's put together well. It's of high quality. I haven't really played them. I've seen a lot of playthroughs of it. You're not super fond of it, and they are churning them out because they make a lot of money.
Yeah, and I guess you
That's
could
all I could say about it.
I guess you could say that the more influential one was the first one they made, the first Souls game, and then everything else is sort of, a continuation of that, which was called,
Yeah, they all seem to be just iterations
something
of
Souls. What was it called?
Demons.
Demon Souls. Yeah. Not that many people played it, but because all the later ones are sort of based on that, I guess. Or that and then the next one, the Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls.
And then the only other thing to say, something that occurred to me is that another game, Bloodborne, is kind of from the same people and is sort of bridges the gap between this type of punishing single player super hard stuff, although there is multiplayer in it, and character action where you go towards like Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising, and DMC and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's sort of all on a continuum, and
Agreed.
it'd be interesting to find out where this one lies on it. I imagine it will go even more in one direction than perhaps some of the other things. But anyway, that exists.
I think I've heard that it goes towards Bloodborne a bit, but not all the way, obviously, because then it would be like sort of same thing. It would make sense. But yeah, I think that's something like that. Last week we told you how Fallout 4, which was everyone's like, mod support is not gonna have mod support until 2016.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Doom, whatever. I think it's called. Used to be Doom something, and now it's just Doom. This is the latest Doom.
Doom 1.
Doom 1. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Doom 1 is not gonna have mods at all. Support anyway. I mean, you can always hack the fucking game as always. But the only modding, air quotes, is gonna be where they let you create a map with their map creation tool. Other than that, like, fuck you, essentially.
Fuck that. That's shit.
Which is strange, because Doom is modding, and modding is Doom. It's like we say Lenin, and we mean the party, and we say the party, and we mean Lenin. Like, that's Doom,
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like,
I wonder what the justification is.
I guess it could be, again, summarized as fuck you. I don't know. Like, strange stuff. I mean, like XCOM is doing mods now, and XCOM 2 anyway, and people are kind of the general attitude seems to be like, oh, actually mods can be good for our game. People play for them for longer, and they tell their friends, oh, that's a good idea. We can sell more games. No.
Weird. I guess they don't want Doom to be the next. Trying to think, what's the biggest mod game ever? Skyrim. Yeah. Well, I suppose that doesn't apply because you wouldn't spend that much time with Doom.
Because you see this guy here, and like they didn't want you to put a mod in where he would have a giant penis.
No, but they do want you to change his skin to blue.
Yeah. Moving on. World of Warcraft is dying. It's
sort of.
It still have 5.6 million subscribers, which actually is quite a lot. I actually thought they had less nowadays, but
that's a very big number of people.
Not very, you said, or very or not very?
Oh, that is a very big number of people.
Quite a lot of people.
I can't even count 5.6 million.
I don't have that many fingers. Which is a fall of 1.6 million though from March this year.
That is a bit more significant in percentage. In relative terms, they're definitely losing a lot of players.
But if you think that this game has now been in existence for 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say way more than that.
2005 it came out.
Yeah.
I made
so they made a lot of money off of this,
and now it's the lowest amount of subscribers, and they pay monthly, whatever. So imagine how much money they have made.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the Kojima thing. Like this much money they made.
This is how much money I had in 2005, and then this is how much money I have now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 3 characters you see on the screen, this is like all that's left of World of Warcraft, even though they just announced a new expansion or something.
An expansion, I believe, came out, but it was kind of, supposedly from people who are interested in these things, was kind of a rehashing of some of the old stuff to an extent, or very similar to some old stuff, and it just wasn't groundbreaking. But it's very hard for me to comment. Sorry?
Azeroth is on brink of something.
Of the brink of something.
Every expansion is like, oh god, the great danger, the evil will rise, and anyway, moving on to evil, more evil than that could ever exist in Azeroth is Windows 10. So, this is a story that Cheese here contributed to our docket, where a gentleman posted on Reddit and asked for help. Because he installed Windows 10, which comes as a free upgrade, don't do it. And what it did is it made automatically everything he had in his My Pictures folder a screensaver, and apparently he had a lot of subfolders because he thought that was good porn management, and there was like a lot of porn in there. And then his wife woke up to use the computer, and there was like a whole bunch of hardcore pornography cycling through as screensaver of his laptop. So,
well, I feel like there should be some course at college, and the course title would be porn management.
Yeah, porn management. It's a good title. Yeah.
It's like, okay, step 1, don't name your porn folder porn. Step 2, don't put your porn folder in My Pictures.
Step 3, don't have porn folder, stream it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
We just deliver the course free, guys. You're
there's
graduated.
Several options. Yeah, that's it. Come loud.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. So this poor fucking idiot. I don't even use My Pictures for pictures. Like, if something has capital M, Y, and a space in the fucking path, I fucking want to burn that folder. You shouldn't have capital letters in your paths unless a fucking good reason. You shouldn't have spaces in your paths.
And it should be 8 letters only.
Aim to have it maximum 8 letters.
Because when the mobile games take over and we go back to the only operating system they're going to allow us, which is going to be Microsoft DOS, so we can't like hack into the mobile games and take control back, you're going to need those 8-letter names, otherwise you won't be able to find them, because the last letter is going to be, if it's more than 8, is going to be changed for a percentage thing, and then, or whatever the sort of equals sign, and then you're fucked, because you're not old enough to even know what that means. Red Bull is, again, in video games. I think they're trying to dislodge What's their face?
Sells drinking.
The Mountain Dew guy people from
Oh,
being
yeah.
a video gamer choice drink of netizens and netiquette and
And Eeple.
and Eeple. Eeple's so good. So people who made Project Cars, which I actually didn't know was finished, maybe it isn't. This is my like the opposite of the Mega Man, like because I thought like, oh, that's done. Although Mega Man, I thought like, oh, it's not done. So they're making now a Red Bull aerial racing game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found this picture of a Formula One
That
car.
picture is great.
Yeah, made of Red Bull cans. So now
That's
you know.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The air race looks kind of fun. I guess it would be nice to have a video game of it. It remains to be seen whether it'll be put together well. But I do like the idea of people making games with flying in. I know I don't do a lot of it, but when I do enjoy it. It just seems to be one of those genres, like, until recently, was completely gone. A bit like space flying combat stuff
Yeah,
was
now
just
it's
was off the
back.
face of the earth. But now it's back.
Yeah, it's back and it wants your wallet.
It's in development fucking hell is what it is. I don't know. It seems to either be out and truly as empty as space is, or just like, yeah, we're working on it.
Cool. It'd be cool to like take a look back at all the space games like 5 years later to see what and then have like two categories like the Brabanites like of David Braben games, so like empty and depressing.
Yeah.
And then like the ones that were I guess I don't know what's Sean whatever his name is, the guy who's making No Man's Sky or whatever, No Man's Skyites or something that are promise hype and colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that happened. Moving on to other promoted marketable branding material. Apparently a very famous Twitch streamer his name is like 2G or G2 or Mountain Dew or Doritos or something, who has like 800,000
Trick 2G.
followers. Yeah, there you go, that guy. So he's apparently pretty big, and a lot of kids watch him. And then he does the show, and likes to joke, says his manager. His manager claimed, I'm going to put it that way. So when he reached 800,000 or something, he was like, oh, celebration. And as the last bit of celebration, which also included some girls dressed as sailors or something, he had a pretend SWAT. Like he got pretend swatted by his own assistants.
That's funny.
Yeah, I am still laughing. My spirit is still dancing as a result of this news. And he got suspended as a resort from Twitch. His channel is, I believe, still suspended. But
Well, it's a good thing then that YouTube is about to relaunch their streaming service.
yeah, rebrand it, repush it.
Wow.
Repush, I think, is the term the current industry needs.
Is that really
What?
repush? Is that you
I
just
just made
making
it
that
up,
up?
but I thought-
Okay, good.
yeah.
I believed you.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they should start using it. Wink, nudge, industry.
Yeah. Come on,
Um,
Eeple.
Yeah, Eeple, go for it, netizens. God. You know how they often talk about the Citizen Kane of video games? Citizen Kane of movies just got announced.
Sorry?
It's Pez Dispenser the movie.
Oh.
Yep. I put the headline in there where I found this because I thought it was great that this is essentially effectively ends the 190-year history of cinema. I think that is pretty accurate.
What is Pez?
You never had those? It's
What's
like a
Pez?
it's a candy. It's like a picture of what you see on the screen. So it's a candy. It's like Tic Tac, sort of, but like rectangle shaped, and it comes with like a trademarked character like face, like whatever Bugs Bunny. So you
And
press
you
Bugs
do like
Bunny's
that.
head, and he just spits out the candy on your whatever mouth or your arm or your hand or your face or something. So it's a dispenser. It dispenses a little sugary, pasty, like it's like a chalk with sugar.
You know what it should be? What they should actually have done is they should have just made a film called Dispenser, and it's your wife is there, and one day you like push her head, and then like Pez comes out of her mouth, and you're like, and she's like, come on, baby, what's wrong? And then she pushes her own head, and like loads and loads of Pez comes out of her mouth into your mouth, and you go, and you find out that your wife was a Pez dispenser, and then you go into work, and you're like, I had to get away from my wife. I'm staying in a hotel. She's a Pez dispenser, and then everyone turns and then goes, this Pez comes out the mouth. That'd be great. This won't be great.
Yeah, because I doubt they'll do that because that sounds like actually a good idea. And this is probably going to be like one Pez dispenser falls in love with the other Pez dispenser, or the evil
How
Pez.
was this? Sorry, how was this news like dropped? Like, who said this?
I don't know, some new like movie website, some sniffed it out somewhere. They don't have a director yet. Surprise. So they're speculating like, what if Uwe Boll decides
Fuck you all! I play golf, make Pez dispenser movie.
So that like actually is probably gonna happen. We have a couple of gates here today. So we have coming up. So first one is Dinklage Gate, where Peter Dinklage got booted out of Destiny to be replaced, or his voice got booted out of Destiny as he was voicing Ghost. What a great name for a little robot that follows you and talks to you, right? Kill me now. By Nolan North, I believe.
Nolan North, the voice of everybody.
The voice of everybody. He is often described as the lead actor of video games.
Absolutely, it's him and a couple of other guys. Their names escape me, but there's always him and one other dude, and they always play all the guards in every single game.
Yeah.
And there's only one woman, which is Jessica Hale.
Which one's Jessica Hale?
Huh?
Which one's Jessica Hale?
Any woman you've heard in a video game, Jessica Hale. Pretty much.
Wait, is that because isn't there also the Lana from Archer? Is that her?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Because she does some voices in the video game as well. You know the one who does Ubisoft conferences every time?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, apparently a lot of people disliked it, and I understand why they dislike, because I never played Destiny. I don't have a PS4 at all. But I obviously this all started. It's a pretty cool story. It started with the wizard who came from the moon, right? And then it got like mimified immediately, and people the Destiny people were like, oh fuck, they're gonna make fun of our game. It's a serious video game experience. We can't have people having fun. They should grind. So they took that thing out, and what they did with his voice, and when he did this voicing, I don't know if like anyone was present when he was recording it, because someone would have fucking noticed. But what he did was, it feels like he did it for money.
It sounded, apparently it was put out very deadpan, which makes you wonder maybe if it was a matter of time, because maybe he's expensive, or direction, maybe the direction wasn't there, or something. But the only real thing you can tell is that from listening to it, it sounds very flat and straight and weird. And
yeah. So
you're not sure what they were going for.
Yeah, it's like you feel like did they tell him to do it that way, or was there no one there and he just did it that way because he didn't give a shit? But it's very much in contrast to the game, which game is supposed to be like, oh, look at all the fucking shit happening and grind and this gun and a grenade, and he's all like, the fallen have overtaken this building. You gotta kill the wizard. There's a good video, I think, by Eurogamer where they compare how his character Ghost sounded in alpha and compared to beta, and some of the stuff that is taken out, and also they essentially applied a filter to his voice, made it robotic because he's a robot, or he's voicing a robot, and they also changed pitch to make it more animated. Like, it is actually like sort of auto-tuned.
They vocoded him.
Yeah, or whatever, vocoded to actually be like, as opposed to like, but yeah, now they're completely getting rid of it. And it does, like, I kind of like it in that sense, because it's like, it's really depressing, and Destiny to me, it sounds like a very depressing premise for a game, so it kind of works, but I guess the gamers wouldn't really like that. So, then they'll have the gamer man, the gamer man does what a gamer man can or something.
One thing about it, the reason I'm like a little suspicious of exactly why it came out like this is, remember we were talking about the guy said that he'd written a bunch of jokes, can't remember his name, but him and another dude had written a bunch of jokes for Destiny, which never made it in. I wonder if somewhere involved is this one sort of creative who is going against everyone else, but it has more executive power going, no, don't sound animated or interested. I want this to be grim and dark. No, get rid of all these jokes. Meanwhile, everyone else is doing all this goofy art or whatever, and like, oh, we're going to shoot this with these guns and this grenade. And then they put it all together, and they're like, where did all the fun go? And the guy was like, what are you talking about?
You didn't get the fun memo.
Yeah.
We're going to move from Dinklage Gate to the useless junk of the week. This is a category I just invented. This is the needle gun from Hello Whatever, and Hello Whatever is coming out in a limited Hello Whatever edition, which costs £450, I think. This is one of the things that comes with it.
Is it a real gun?
Only in America. No, it's not. It's just a piece of plastic. That what it does though is, you when you press the trigger, this things like the needles. You played Halo, right?
Yeah, I know what this
even I know.
is.
Okay, yeah. So the needles come up and go down.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, we're moving on to the best game name of the week.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is the game that came out on the 1st of August, not 1st of April, weirdly. So
I hadn't read this.
This is Bomb. Who Let the Dog Fight?
Do you remember that song? I don't.
And it doesn't even work if anyone were to like remember that song.
It's not a correct full pun.
No, it's not anything.
Is the video meant to be at super speed?
I never watched the video. I just looked.
I'm watching the video now, and like most of it's at incredibly high speed. Like I think they had one shot to record some stuff, and they were like, "There's only interesting stuff here, here, and here," and so it just does a bunch of fast forwarding. This is poor.
It has like the tiger skin.
Oh, that's tasteless as fuck.
This is the so-called the whore plane. So you know the
what?
It's a sex work plane. That's why it's dressed in tiger skin. That pattern associated with loose women, the kind of thing, you know.
Couldn't it have been a bit more creative, like having high heel tail fins?
That would be awesome. I'd buy that game. High heel planes.
This looks like ass.
I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that sex work.
I want more good flying games. I don't want this.
This one isn't one of those, unfortunately.
Bomb.
Yeah, but you won't have to worry about any of these, Ed, because we're all gonna be in jail soon.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, we all UK residents and citizens are now officially criminals as of I think today or yesterday, wherein the High Court ruled that backing up your songs is illegal.
Films and other things.
Everything, every media. But this was started by people who do like the Association of Singers Anonymous or something like that. Who were
oh, great image, by the way, Andrew. That's perfect.
Right? So this is like surprisingly, it's even legal in America where most things are illegal, and except for guns, and like it's suddenly out of all places, it's now illegal to do so in UK, which is like what?
That's a bit like saying though we've now made it illegal to blow dandelions. Like, have fun enforcing that.
It's unenforceable. It's absolutely unenforceable. Like, what are they gonna do? Go through houses and check for like burned CDs that if they contain like some songs by Taylor Swift? I don't know.
Here's season 2 of House of Cards. Get him!
Tase him! Tase him!
So one thing though that Claudia mentioned to me actually, because I was saying the exact same thing. I was like, this is annoying, but basically non-news because it's not going to make anything any different. Is that she said that, well, if they actually had some other reason to want to get you, they could just go, well, you've backed up some files, and you'd be like, how did you know that? And like, everyone backed up files, but we're arresting you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty bad.
This is Cameron's disk drive.
Cameron's CD-ROM drive. Cameron's 3 times speed CD-ROM drive with the what is it called? You know, the giant connector, like pre-USB.
The parallel PATA cables.
Yeah,
Those
there's
big
PATA.
wide
And after
ribbons.
that was like a very
SATA is the small one that we use now.
yeah. There's like one that is like this wide, like it's pretty...
SCSI?
SCSI, yeah.
There you
Cameron's
go.
SCSI, there you go.
That sounds gross.
That's what he does as a prime minister. And as we recently found out again in different piece of news, Hillary Clinton, he thinks that he's inexperienced.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love whoever the artist is who keeps drawing him as like an inflated condom. I fucking love it. And he keeps making tweets about Cobra. This is David Cameron himself. He's like, I just chaired a Cobra meeting. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, in your pants?
Oh man.
So the final gate item of final item of this, well, final visual item anyway of this show, and final gate that we're gonna talk about today is the VR Gate. Time magazine printed this cover, and people have been making fun of this the entire day. It has been quite a ride.
It's as if we're back in the 80s again, where this exact image was probably on the cover of Time.
Here's the same child transported to Matrix in the same pose, and I think the next one is gonna see him on the horse, maybe? I'm not... That's like, no, it changes every 10 seconds, so you gotta give... Oh, no, this is another guy trying like the same thing, superimposed over an image of a tropical beach.
Yeah.
And the next one is gonna be him on the horse. The article itself is just like nothing. They just go through...
Sorry, I just saw the Matrix.
They just go through like all the different VR solutions, let's call them, all the products that are coming out this Christmas. And say like a couple of words about them. It's pretty boring, but the image itself is obviously very much the news here. So, mobile and VR, they cometh.
They cometh. It reminds me kind of. All right, so you can make your list of VR solutions, and then you make your list of streaming / games console solutions by slightly smaller tech companies, and you just put them in like a bucket. And then you just kind of put something on the bucket, and then you put it outside.
Or you can put them in a barrel, then you put nails on the barrel, and you roll the barrel down a hill. And this is a simple way to do Iron Maiden if you don't actually have enough metal.
That's fucking horrifying. I've never heard of that. That's horrifying.
Yeah, this is like a rural Iron Maiden where like didn't have a smith like try to it takes. It's very expensive.
Jesus, Iron Maiden's not even like real. Weren't they not used? Wasn't that all a big like fakery thing?
Was it?
That's what I heard.
Oh, I thought they were real.
I heard that it wasn't really a thing. It was like, I think there are some ornamental ones that exist in like torture museums. We should check that out for next week. We'll get back to you.
That would be like our special, a special show. We're going to dedicate it to Iron Maiden. The band and the device.
And the drink.
And what's the drink?
Oh, wait, no, the drink's called the Trooper. It's the Iron Maiden beer. They've got it at Morrison's.
Oh,
it's
really?
quite nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know they make their own.
It's just a good dark ale.
Okay.
I think someone else makes it.
the barrel with nails is definitely real, though.
Damn, yeah, it sounds too brutal to be fake.
Yeah, it's very cheap, so everything cheap is usually just real.
Something about a very cheap, brutal way of killing you is, I don't know, it's special. This isn't some brass ball that you heat. This is just a barrel with some nails in it. Fuck off, damn it.
Everyone has nails, everyone has barrels. There you go, done.
I know I do.
Yeah, I have 2 nails, but no barrels. There's a couple of things I didn't actually have there. I didn't really look up the images for, and I was wondering if you wanted to mention them.
What have we left?
Do you want to say anything about the Final Fantasy thing?
Oops. Final Fantasy. Oh, actually, that ended up being, I think, nothing.
Yeah, it ended up being sort of a remake, a remaster.
Yeah, well, no one even really knows because I believe it was that basically at one of these concerts they do classical music, kind of orchestra, whatever versions of video game music is kind of a thing that happens, and a particular kind of favorite is doing Final Fantasy music. I believe this is at one of those kind of concerts. This guy, composer, sort of accidentally says they're going to remake FF12, but then later's like, that was a mistake that I said. And then people are like, is this going to be an HD remaster then? And, the distinction between those. To be honest, it's one of those games that would be fine with an HD remaster because it's not that old and it was pretty good when it came out. It's one of my favorite mechanically in the series because you get to program your moves. It's like quite cool. So you just did lots of like if this then this and then this links to this and stuff. It was like coding in a way, and it kind of addressed grind by going, well, all right, the computer's going to grind. How will it grind? And that was kind of fun.
Like a programming board game kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly that. So that aspect of it was cool, which is why I'd be very interested in whatever it is they decide to make new of it. So yeah, it just sounds like this guy fucked up a bit. So yeah, story developed and then kind of undeveloped, but there may be a story, and that's about why.
Yeah, they denied, essentially they officially denied now the remake, but they didn't deny the remaster.
Whatever.
And there's another thing that we didn't mention, because I didn't have a picture for it, is the guy who said that indie games should be cheaper.
Yeah.
That's the guy who made Cthulhu Saves the World, which is a very cheap game. Bias, anybody? And which I have, by the way, interesting. So he essentially he made a little article, I think it was Gamma Sutra or somewhere, where usually that kind of articles go like
gamesindustry.biz.
Oh, maybe, yeah, same. So Medium or whatever thing, medium.com, Gamma Sutra, and gamesindustry.biz are, in my head, the same outlet.
Oh, okay.
Because it's usually the stuff that goes there are bloggy articles, like from what like personal point of view stuff from the developers often,
right.
And it goes like, this is too much, this is too little, we should stop doing this, we should start doing this. That kind of article. So
yeah.
In this case, he claims that, or rather, he states that the new trend of $20 or above indie games is weird, and we shouldn't do it. And the reason I mentioned Bias is because I think he has like 2 games that I know of, like both of them about like a sort of funny adventure games about Cthulhu.
Right.
And both of them are like £1 or £1.50, something like that. And essentially his idea was that it kind of drives people away, lets people play your games, and you're sort of ruining your indie-ness, which is like, whatever, if you want to, like, some people will have a cheap game and I will have like Besiege, for example, right? Besiege, very popular.
How much is that?
Very cheap. I think it's £5.99.
Oh.
A game that you can play for a long time because it has like building, so you can build whatever. You've seen that. Remember the one where there's a guy and he masturbates? And the one when they're like, you
pay at least £6 for just that.
Yeah, and exactly. And then there's the one where he has a cannon for a penis. There's the one.
I'll put it in my pictures.
Yeah, and you have to actually wind him up for him to ejaculate. And there's the one where like they did the face hugger from Alien, and he jumps to the castle and destroys it. It's pretty good. And that's like $5.99. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff that caters to people who want to spend less, and it's still good, and other way, whatever. It's like free market,
our essential objection to this is, I don't know, it reminds me of when what's her name? Damn it! There's this famous actress. She's like the lead female in Iron Man, and she tends to like say a lot of stuff that which is, you should do this. It works for me, and everyone's like, that's not actually very good advice. Your situation is this, this, or this, and you're talking about everybody, and you can't solve everybody's problems with this one thing that works for you. That's quite short-sighted, and it strikes me as one of these things. It's like, well, you have control over the price of your own game, and if someone thinks it's worth it, they'll buy it. If they don't think it's worth it, they won't buy it, and that's none of your business. And it's saying someone should price something lower.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's weird. I just don't get it. It's like, it seems to work for this guy. Great. He seems to have made an article which has made me aware of the fact that there's a Cthulhu game. Very convenient. I just think it's kind of bullshit. The reason I found out about this was basically via Rami's Twitter, where he saw this and was like, oh, this is breaking my head, and then eventually just like put out a whole bunch of stuff on like why he thought it was a shit kind of idea or didn't agree at least.
He doesn't have that very expensive game either himself.
Yeah. But he was talking about like, should we price it at $10? No, that's too low. Should we price it at 20? No, that's maybe too high. They priced it at $12.99 in the end. The whole point is you put what you think it's worth, and you try and really think about what it's worth rather than I spent a very long time on it. Fine, but also like what will people pay for it? I believe the guy who does, is it World of Tanks or no? It's one of these fucking super indie tank games. Maybe it's not World of Tanks, but one of them
isn't really indie that much.
No, I must be thinking of something else then. But there's some kind of game that's like that where it's not AI Wars or something. I don't know. So one of these, I remember hearing that people complained that you priced it too high, and it was like 20 to 30 quid. I couldn't remember. And people saying, you'd make a lot more money if you priced it lower or whatever. And he's just like, that's how much I think it's worth. I don't want people to pay less than that for that. And I'm like, well, it's fine. It's you made it. Yeah. You get to decide. It's fine. I probably won't buy it because I'm not interested in it. But whatever. I mean, if you price it at £200, like, good luck. It depends what it is. There are games that you would pay £200 for. It's just they tend not to get made.
There's that dude also who made Castle Doctrine. Remember, I had a video on this where you are designing the traps and robbing people, stuff like that. Yeah, save your wife, kill other person's wife. So he had a opposite thing where he kind of similar to like Rami's stuff, where it was cheaper during alpha. And it came out at the full price during when it was done, and he said never discounted, so it's never going to be discounted. It's just there. Yeah. So like again, and it's good that we have these options and we can do whatever the fuck we want, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to paying like quite a lot for books. I'm used to paying a decent amount for music. It's nice when things are cheap. It's
just don't back it up. Don't back up your
books. Oh yeah, never back up your music or your books. But in fact, once you've read them, to burn them in case you lend them to a friend.
And then you have to shoot yourself in that area of the brain where you remember that book.
Yes, and then you can buy the book again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So on this happy suicidal note, we would like to bid farewell to you, dear viewers. If you're watching this on YouTube, please press the buttons. And we try to go live every Thursday, 10 p.m. BST.
Well, we have gone live every Thursday, but not at 10 p.m. BST.
Yeah, exactly. Today went like 10, my middle name. Bye!
Bye!
It happened.
We did it.
We did it. That's it. This is the last show. Now we have to kill ourselves to get rid of all the books in our heads.
Oh no. Oh, I only read like 200. That's not that many.
A small bullet for you, 22 maybe.
It could bounce around inside my skull.
Sporta, yeah.
Oh, Sporta.